Hey y'all, we're back. I thought I'd throw in some fancy music. I got the Kickstarter update from Starforged about the tabletop audio, and they've got a lot of cool music on there. So that's where that music comes from, is the tabletop audio. And so where we left off was Knut was treed the by a second bear, the angry mate of the first one, and I think it's going to be bears all the way through, all the way there and back. Probably going to be undead bears in the freaking crypt of gray sadness. um, but I've decided uh, I'm going to try to let him do a take the advantage move, or secure an advantage. He doesn't really want to fight another bear. Uh, so he's just going to attack he's in the tree. He's just trying to jab it and scream at it and trying to get it to go away. All right, so I'm going to give that iron because he's trying to force it and jab it. And I say he doesn't really want to kill it. The one bear skin's already heavy enough as it is. So let's see what he does here. Okay, strong hit. Take control. Make another move now, not a progress move, and add +1. Prepare to act. Take 2 momentum. I'll take the 2 momentum, and I'm going to I'm going to say on that strong hit, the bear backs down, and Knut's just going to wait up in the tree. And whenever if the bear ever decides he wants to try to get up the tree, he's just going to try to stab him and keep him down. Let's see. I'm going to say that I'm going to say it's likely the bear is just going to go away because the bear's angry, is enraged about or she, whichever, is enraged about the death of the mate, and that's kind of why I imagine he chased, or she, I think I called the other one a he. So this is why she chased Knut and is still following him. But I'll say it's likely that she's going to eventually go away because he's not coming down. Okay, 15. I don't actually think that is going to do it. Let's see. Likely 26 or greater. So nope. So she is staying there. He sits, she sits, and she just sits there staring at him. So he knows he's going to have to do something. He's going to have to fight her. So what he does, he gets into a position to where he has his spear, and he's going to start throwing pine cones, little bits of branches, to get the bear back to the tree. He's going to start yelling at it, calling it names, whatever he can. And she does finally, and I'll use that secure advantage bonus on and enter the fray as he leaps down out of the tree, trying to get as much force behind that initial thrust as he can. Okay. So weak hit. What's your initiative? Nah, I think he wants to take the initiative. So he jumps down and strike. So he does get the initiative at least. Come on, Knut. Give me some rolls, man. Give me some good rolls. Hilda, avenge me. Alright, well, that's a weak hit at least. Even with the 1 because of his iron. is 3, and okay, so his secure advantage really didn't help him too much except for the momentum. Let's see, and he could. You know what? I think I'm going to. Veteran, when you burn momentum to improve your result in combat, gives you the upper hand, and take +1 momentum after you're set, and +1 when you make your next move. Once per fight, you also take the initiative when burning momentum to improve. Oh, I didn't know that. I could have, or I guess I did know that. I didn't remember that. Once per fight, you can also take initiative when burning momentum to improve a miss to a weak hit. Okay, so that's actually pretty handy. I think at this point, yeah, burn momentum to improve your result in combat. So this goes from a weak hit. Okay, so he's going to burn momentum, and then that increases that back up to 1. So he uses his veteran skill, and he leaps down with rage and just drives that spear into the bear. All right, so uh, that makes it a strong hit because it gets rid of both of those, so it beats both of those. Oh, I need to make the bear. 1, 2, 3, because he adds 1 for the strong hit. And add +1 when you make your next move. All right, so he jumps down, he stabs the bear, he gets a good jab into her shoulder, and then he's going to follow that up as he rolls, gets back up to his feet, and he's going to charge and scream at her again. And drop it in there. Okay. All right, that's another strong hit because he has the +1. So that actually brings that up to 10. So a strong hit, inflict +1 harm, do extra damage. 1, 2, 3. And he keeps the initiative. So he's just going to keep up, and he's just going to just run in there and stab and stab. I'm glad that he has a spear and not just his sax, because that would be something hard to fight a giant bear with, an angry bear with. Yep. All right, so that's about as worse a roll, about as bad as the roll as you can get. Doubles for the bad, and then a 1, so not even close. He runs up and he sticks her again, but she bats him aside. That's going to be a, let's see, combat, strike, fail, pay the price. Let's see what pay the price he does here. 75. It is stressful. Okay. So, 3 spirit. And it brings him down to 0. So the bear, these there's just something about these bears. They are they're not like primordial or something, but there's something they're not primordial, or they're not the giant beast type bears, but there's something about these bears, and he jumps in, and the bear grabs him and is just she's screaming or roaring into his face, and he is once again, he's terrified. He knows that she's about to rip his throat out as she bellows. Face of combat, suffer, endure stress. Face mental shock or despair. Then roll in spirit or heart, whichever is higher. Okay, well, that's... If your spirit is 0, suffer momentum, and then roll plus spirit, whichever is higher. Alright, so he's... The battle is wearing him down. He's this giant beast is just all up in his face. Okay, 2. Oops, that was a 2. Weak hit. So he presses on. He manages to push himself away, and he rolls out as she charges him. She comes barreling down on top of him. He manages to get his spear ready, healed him just in time as the bear pounces. So that's going to be a combat, but it's going to be a clash because he doesn't have the initiative. Okay. A weak hit, inflict harm. All right, well, I'm not gonna bother rolling. I'm just gonna say that he takes 3. He jabs that. He gets that in. He gets that in her. But she's on top, clawing and crushing and just shredding at his helmet and armor. And now he's a little too close, so he has to reach out and get his sacks because his spear is tied up. And once per fight, you also take initiative. When burning momentum, improve a weak hit tool. It's not there yet. All right, he's going to try to take the... Turn the tide, there we go. God, I wish I could remember the names of these things. Oh. Oh yeah, I've got my new buddy there. He's holding my book for me. He's not doing me much in the way of luck though. You know, maybe that dude's giving me the bad luck with my rolls today. So once per 5 risk roll, do it all. All right, so he steals initiative and makes a move. So he's going to steal initiative, then he's going to do a strike. So you can only do that once, but if he fails, then that's a baddie. So he's going to grab the bear. He's trying to keep the bear at bay and stab it in the throat with his sacks. Okay, add 1. Okay, to his iron. So that's a strong hit. And he adds 1 momentum from that move. So momentum 4. And the strong hit. And next hit, he manages to get the bear. He stabs it and stabs it, and the bear is still clawing all over his armor and ripping his cloak. And as it roars, he jabs his sacks into the bear's throat as hard as he can. And that's a strong hit on the fight. So he jabs that thing all the way up to the hilt, and the bear is trying to scream. The bear's blood is just pouring all over him, and he pushes the the blade away. He uses it as a leverage point to try to push and get out from under this bear before it crushes him and does anything else to him. And he rolls away, and he uh, he's got leaves and bracken all sticking to him on the blood from sticking to the blood on him from the forest floor that he rolled through, and he gets up into a crouch, ready to run or do whatever he needs to do. But this bear again is kind of like the other one, it's sitting there, and it looks at him, and then it thunders off through the forest, and after a moment he can hear a final roar, and it falls. So he grabs his stuff. He hears it fall. He hears the roar, then he hears like a crash and a bunch of what is loud noises in the underbrush. So he grabs his stuff, fetches up his spear and his shield, and uh, takes a quick assessment of himself and follows the blood trail of this bear. And he does find the bear dead, having finally bled out. He retrieves his sacks from it, and yeah, he's gonna take some time, and he's gonna make camp, and he's gonna skin that one because he's now hurt and low on supplies and spirit again. So, and I'm just going to I don't really want to go through rolls and just make a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm just going to give him 2 supply, 2 spirit, and 2 health, because he's got the bear meat. It seems kind of silly to need to roll to get the bear meat, and he defeated the bear again. So, and he gets a good night's rest. Now he's going to try one more time after it. Now he has 2 bear skins, big bear skins. He's kind of considering getting rid of them or hiding them away somewhere, just because they are pretty heavy. Unlike some inventory systems where you might be able to carry 37 bear skins, this is not this is not one of them. So there we go. So I'm still trying to work with that. So I'm going to undertake the journey. After he spends his day resting and relaxing, he finds some berries that are just so delicious, and they cheer him up a little bit. All right, so undertake the journey. On a weak hit, you reach waypoint and mark progress, but -1 to supply. So that's good. He marks progress. Let me go over to my enter the fray and end that fight. And then journeys. Okay, travel to the Crypt of Grey Sadness. I'm going to mark that. We'll see if there's some kind of trickery going on. Nope. Alright, so he has, as he gets closer, he can see that the lands are starting to get silent. There's fewer background noises, fewer animal and insect noises. So he gets on his guard. He makes sure he's got his shield and his spear, and he's cautious. He's looking around. He proceeds forward, and he comes up over a hill, and he looks down the ledge on the other side of the hill, and he sees this barrow, or a crypt, which for the Vikings is like a barrow. Actually, let me see. Maybe it's not even it might not be a human one. Let's say 51 or higher. It's a human crypt. Otherwise, it might be something else. Okay, so it is some kind of human crypt. hard to tell whether it, it might be from some kind of ancient Skrailinga, some ancient barbarian or wild ones, or if it's from previous generations of just regular iron landers. But it's a stone. It looks like a stone structure that leads into some kind of series of barrows behind it. Well, let's go and see what it is. It's definitely creepy. He doesn't like it. Let's see. Should I use my cards? Kind of like my cards. We know that it is some kind that the domain is a crypt. A barrow. We know the domain's a barrow. I'm gonna use my cards just because I like using my cards. I paid for them, right? We'll see what the theme is. The theme is wild. Okay. So it's a wild barrow. And well, I would say that the difficulty's probably got to be about the same as that quest. Yeah, I'll just tie them together. Delve the depths. And he's gonna go with wits. That served him. It served him well. Okay, 3. So on a weak hit, roll on the following table according to your stat. So we used wits. 23. Mark progress and reveal a danger. Oof, that's only one. What a drag. Alright, reveal a danger. $45. Check the domain card. 45. Maze of narrow passages. Alright, so he walks in and the first thing he finds is a maze of narrow passages that gets very cramped. These look like they're places where the barrow has been oh, whoops, sorry, wrong one. 43. Well, okay, that's the state. That's where it is. It starts off with the cramped area, these walls of the dugout barrows, and within he can see lots of signs of movement. There's animal fur and spore here and there. So that's where he's at. Wait a second. Reveal a danger. Okay. Now the danger. We'll roll the danger. Actually, that was what I should have done. Let's see, 84. Right, so the way ahead is blocked. So he's got to find another way. He's got to crawl into these tight spaces. So we will delve deeper. Okay, so that is with wits. That's going to be another weak hit. So roll on the table. I need to find a better way. I need to make like a little bookmark. 78. Choose one. Mark progress or find an opportunity. I'm just going to mark progress. Going to continue. Now it's getting dark enough inside that he has to break out a torch, so once again he's got a torch in one hand and a spear in the other. Fortunately, he did bring lots of torches, and the bears didn't eat those. Okay. Another weak hit. "28. Mark progress and reveal a danger." Let's see what we got. Reveal a danger. 97. Roll twice or more on this table. 82. Face consequences of an earlier choice or approach. Okay, so he thought when he was going around the first blockage, he thought he'd found the way, but he's actually twisted up and he's lost. He's lost in this maze. And 35. Check on the domain card. A trap. Okay. So he's walking along and he encounters a trap. Alright, so I pull out my handy delve book, and which I'm not as familiar with the delve as I am with the other, although I'm fairly new to both, actually. So I'm supposed to roll on the trap event table. Let's see what we got. Oh, sorry, Oracle. 42, a crush. Okay, good. A big block, maybe. And the component. 26, debris. Alright. So there is a trap that's going to dump a bunch of debris on there. It moves to see what happened. Alright, so we're going to say that as he's walking along, the trap set by who knows who knows when, he takes a step forward and there's he can feel it sink, and there's a loud click, and then a panel swings up from above. It would have to be something simple. I mean, in a place like this, there's not, it could only be so complex and still work after however many hundreds of years. But it drops down, and I'm going to have him, since this came across as kind of a weak hit, I'll just do it'll just be a face danger move with edge as he tries to leap out of the way. Let me look up momentum real quick. Spending momentum. Alright, so like I thought, you can't, if to spend a momentum, the die has to be below your momentum, so. Alright, so he's got a trap, and it's a fail. That's a fail. So it falls on him. Let's look up the moves for face a danger. Okay, progress undermined. Pay the price. Been rolling a lot of pay the price lately. $19. Your action has an unintended effect. Well, that's formidable, so that pretty much means he loses all his health, and it has an unintended effect. Or would it do both? All right, so an unintended effect. Let's say, so the intended effect was that it would drop a bunch of rocks on his head, and even though he failed, it has an unintended effect. I think it should do both. Does it alert someone to his presence? Does it wake up something? He's in a crypt. Does it wake up an animal or a creature? Let's say it's 50-50. 51 or higher, it wakes up some kind of animal that's nearby. Okay, so that's not the unintended effect. All right, it just hits him then. So it falls down on him, and if it weren't for his helmet, he'd probably be dead as this debris just piles down and crushes on him, and he's once again out of health. And you just can't go, treading lightly through these dangerous places. But he's going to try anyway. Well, actually, he dusts himself off. He pushes the rocks out of the way, and he's going to try to heal himself while he's in there. And maybe something he's not supposed to do. Okay, wits or iron, whichever is lower. So wits. Come on. Alright, good. Strong hit. So a strong hit is helpful. Wounded condition, you clear it, and then take up 2 health. Alright. So he brings his health back up to 2 after he bandages his head and readjusts his helmet from all the rocks that just fell on him. And gathering up his torch, making sure that it's still lit and not getting ready to go out because of these rocks that fell on it. He grabs his spear and continues on. Delve the depths. I get my fancy cards. I swear, I just can't get any traction here. Alright, on a mystery, reveal a danger. So, as the dust settles from the cave-in trap, first I think, let's see. First, I think we're gonna go to a different area. 33. Okay, so now we're in the burial chambers instead of the maze of narrow passages. And we'll see what the reveal a danger does. 79. You confront a harrowing situation or sensation. Alright, so as he crosses the threshold into these burial chambers, he can see his sight is starting to work up, and he knows that means that there's supernatural powers. There's some kind of deviltry going on down here. Something's awake. Something is watching him from the darkness, and he can tell. He can sense it. And it is a brooding, foreboding, angry darkness that is just he can feel how malignant it is. It's pressing down on him. In fact, it feels like it's getting dark, almost darker, but something's watching him, and he's looking around trying to see if he can see anything at all. He's got his torch out, as far as he can, trying to cast some light into the area. Let's see. I'm going to have him endure stress. Okay, so that's going to put him at -1 as his spirit goes to 0. And so now he's got to endure stress with a 0. Endure stress. The big bears scared him so bad. Right. This is, of course, not his best, because it's spirit or heart. Alright, weak hit, he presses on, so he can feel it. He can feel it pressing into his mind, and then he's terrified, but he presses on, and after a moment, that feeling fades away. It fades away, but he knows that there's something dark and evil in here now. He continues to delve. Face the danger, reveal a danger, reveal a danger, reveal another danger. Danger, stranger, stranger danger. 40. Check the domain card. 40. Crumbling architecture. Architecture. Alright, so as he's walking, still dazed, still pressed in from his encounter with whatever that dark spirit was. He's not paying attention, and he steps onto he steps through an entranceway, an archway, and catches his arm on it, and it's loose, and it causes some stones to fall down on him. He's going to face the danger to try to not get whacked by it. Okay. Good. So he gets a momentum back. And as he's walking through, he bumps it, and he hears the rocks above him start to shift. He manages to jump out of the way just in time as they fall and crash to the ground. And let's see. Since sounds like a thresholdy thing, he enters a new area. 40, or no, 4. Oof. Okay, he has entered a denizen's lair. He's gone from, it looks like wherever this, maybe the animals, something maybe dug in from a different part and have made a lair in this part of the barrows. It's still obviously, burial chambers and the passages and stuff, but the spore here is very heavy, so he knows there's animals here. Last thing he wants to meet is some possessed bear, or the bear, the spirits of the bears that he killed. All right, let's do a move. I just can't catch a break from that guy. All right, so he delves the depths again, and that is a weak hit. Roll the following table. I need to mark some progress on this. 27. Mark progress and reveal a danger. I'd just like to mark progress. That would be great. dice. Thank you. Not getting very far at all. Alright, reveal a danger. 45. The domain card. And grave goods with hidden dangers. Grave goods with hidden dangers. And so it looks like some kind of crypt has been dug open or broken open by whatever animals are here. They've dug through the stones, and the stones are scattered, and there's bones laying out. Looks like they've been gnawed on by something. But the skeleton's kind of hanging out, its bones are scattered, its skull is staring up at him as he puts the light forward. As he puts the light forward, there is something glitters in the light. Let's see. Let's use one of our handy tables. See if we can figure out what this goods might be. I don't know that there is a table for something like that. This is one of those things. I'm going to use my Game Master's Assistant card, as it has a trappings. And so we'll pull it. We'll use it and see what kind of trappings are these grave goods with a hidden danger. We'll decide what that is, and then we'll figure out what the hidden danger is. And what glitters is it looks like a pendant, and it has these crystals on it. He's not really a gemstone person. It doesn't look like jewelry, and he can sense from there's something magical about the crystals in this pendant. He doesn't know what, but he's kind of compelled to take it. All right, so I entered that item into the item description, and it says that it has hidden dangers. So I think I'm going to just leave that crystal amulet as being flagged for something later on. It came from the skeleton somehow, and he doesn't see anything that gives any other kind of hint as to who that skeleton might have been, or even necessarily that it came from that skeleton. Because he found it on the floor. He's assuming that the animals, when they dug through, opened it up. But I'm going to keep that amulet later on, and it says it's got hidden dangers, so maybe it's cursed in some way. Maybe it's going to bring him some kind of trouble down the road. But he looks around, he sees nothing, takes out another torch, and because this one's starting to splutter, and he lights the new torch, and he sets this one between some stones, something, so it'll just have more ambient light. And then he carries on, continues his delve. With very little progress. Okay, another fail. Another reveal the danger fail. So he's not getting anywhere. He's not getting anywhere in here. Alright, on a miss, reveal a danger. 18. Theme card. 18. Remains or... Oh no, wrong one. Alright, so the denizen, it protects something. Let's see what this has for its denizen matrix. Holy crap, it's got some creepy stuff in there. Well, I guess it is a it is a haunted place. Let's see what kind of denizen he's come across. 15, a husk. All right, husks are pretty rough. I'm going to take a moment and just refamiliarize myself with what a husk is. Because it's been a while for me too. Delve, page 110. I think they're humans. Well, I mean, they show up as Ironlanders, so. A husk is what remains of an Ironlander whose body, mind, and soul are hollowed out by dark magic. Right. In their unquenchable thirst for power, they use their own essence to power foul rituals. Okay, so some kind of undead. I wonder. All right, I'm going to say it's unlikely, but this person, he may. Let's see. Unlikely. Oh, 93. All right. So as Knut makes ready his walks spear, around the corner, he sees this person or this human. The human turns to him, and he can see that he's wearing this ancient decrepit armor, and his face is withered, and he can see this kind of glowing in his eyes, and his sight is telling him all about, his sight is telling him that this creature is cursed or has some kind of magic. And Knut, he looks at him, and he has this inspiration is that maybe this person, that this being, whatever, is another one of the Einherjar, like the one that he found in Axe Watch. And so he gets ready, and he says, "Rest, spirit. I am here to work to solve your curse. I am here to help the Einherjar." And the creature looks at him, and then he looks back at something that's in the darkness, and he makes ready to speak, and that's where we're gonna end it. One, because we're at that hour mark, and two, because I need a little time to think about what's going on here, with the whole, what to do with them, because you don't have to necessarily fight every monster that you come across, right? So he doesn't want to fight because he's not had a good time in this in this area already. He's had rocks dropped on him and everything else. So, and he's not getting very far. He's not even close to finding what he's supposed to find here. But I'm going to, in the interim, I'm going to consider what the fiction for this is, for this creature that he's found, whether or not he actually is one of the Einherjar, and we'll carry on with the next episode when I get it taken care of. Thanks for sticking by. I hope you're enjoying it. I kind of stuttered and stumbled through some of this episode pretty bad, but I think it's because I've been taking a break from it, so kind of lost that familiarity with it. Have a good time at your own gaming table.